the fact that this video even needs to be made is so frustrating to me. It's so frustrating. Hello my geeks, freaks, and my peeps. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Chaos, and today, guys, who are going, this is a follow-up to my Hey Vivzy essay is not a joke video, just cause, there's apparently some stuff I need to clarify, and I do want to address some stuff that, like, I forgot to include in that video. So first off, someone, brought up, I don't have a script for this, I'm really sorry. Someone brought up Blitz saying to Moxie that if he fucks up again in the first episode, that he's gonna fuck him and his wife. I completely forgot that moment just cause, like, it goes by so quick and, like, it moves on so fast after that. I just didn't register it. And so, yeah, that's not okay to say. Yeah, I just wanted to quickly address that just cause, yeah, no, that's not okay. I also, like, I knew that Ralph was employed by Vivzy and did the poison secrets. For some reason, someone, like, said, hey, by the way, Vivzy also hired someone who fetishizes rape. And I thought they were talking about someone other than Ralph. And they were talking about Ralph. And I just completely, like, missed that. So, like, yeah, no. Vivzy, why? Why would you do that? That's not okay. And then, I need to apparently clarify why I talked about Moxie, Stolas, and Penchus and why I classify them as victims. So I'm gonna do Stolas first just because he's the quickest. A lot of people were saying, well, why would you call Stolas a victim and not Stella, even though they both aren't happy in this relationship? That is absolutely correct. They both did not choose this life. They did not choose to marry each other. And Stella has to go through more just because she is a woman, and pregnancy often lies on the woman just because the uterus. But the reason why I called out, like, that, why I called Stolas a victim in that specific instance is because of the line where Stella says, I just have to fuck his scrawny ass, even though he's disassociating. That's what I was trying to get at with that example, is that it's very clear without that line that they're in a very unhappy relationship and that neither one of them wanted to be in this relationship. And so my point in bringing Stolas up specifically was, why did we need that line? That line served literally no purpose other than saying, hey, rape is funny and Stolas is a victim of rape. And, like, yes, the only reason why they both had to have sex was to have Octavia. And I understand that. That is not lost on me, believe me. Again, the reason why I brought Stolas up was because of that line, because that line was unnecessary. And we got the same exact information across without that line. That line served nothing other than to be a joke for us to laugh at Stolas. Because immediately after, Stolas makes, like, a quote-unquote funny bird face and bird noises play out, signaling that we're supposed to find that funny. That's why I called Stolas a victim in that, but make no mistake, both him and Stella are victims in this situation. Now on to Moxie and Penchus. Those two were the ones that I kept seeing in the comments say that they weren't victims. And make no mistake, they absolutely are. It's very clear that they are victims of gang rape specifically. So let's start with Moxie first. It's very obvious that he is raped because, well, first off, Veroska says, let me send a message to your limp dick boss before she rapes him. And then, like, a couple of seconds into, like, the quote-unquote joke, Blitz says, Moxie, don't let them access any of your holes. And what is that supposed to mean other than he's actively being raped? And we're hearing screaming and, like, all these sorts of noises. But, like, what signifies someone's not having a fun time? And, like, people are just like, well, he just has kiss marks. He just has dirt marks. So it's obviously not him being raped. No, that he is being raped. That is rape. that's a very clear sign of someone has had sex. That is a animation shorthand for sex happened. Or like someone's feeling sexual towards someone is when they get very kissy. Um, so yeah, no, the fact that we hear all these noises, Veroska says that Blitz tells Moxie to not let them access his holes, multiple, and the fact that like he comes out with kiss marks and he says afterwards, I need to lie down. Like that all points to he got raped, and there's a joke somewhere in that, supposedly. And so, yeah. And now onto Penchas. And Penchas gets me the most annoyed that people don't, like, see him as a victim, apparently. So, a lot of people, these are the reasons why I see people say that Penchas is not a victim. He went to a club called Consent, and he said a few seconds before, he got dragged in that he was going to have sex with everybody. So, newsflash, just because you go to a club that happens to be called Consent does not mean you yourself consent to have sex with somebody. That does not give implicit, permission for that, and the fact that like that needs to be said at all is really disappointing. It gives very much what were you wearing that night, which that shit we should not. It's 2025. We should just acknowledge that it's gross. And second off, that he announced that he was quote unquote gonna have sex with everybody. Also, people brought up that he came out like pretty tidy, and yeah, no, it's very clear that like he got gang raped, and like he announced he was gonna have sex with everybody. That's so obviously not a real like statement. Literally anyone with half a brain cell could see that. It's not I'm going to have an orgy with everyone willingly. It's oh shit, I'm bad at flirting, and the girl that I'm trying to flirt with did not like that. So panic happened, hence why he said I'm having sex with everyone. And someone tried to justify him like that happening by saying it's just the rules of threes. It's like, yeah, the rules of threes dictate that the ending, the last of the three jokes, is going to be the most extreme. And what's the ending joke with this? This is gonna get people jinxed twice. It's him getting raped. That's the third and supposed to be the actual joke. And so, yeah, no, it's very clear that he's raped. And like, people use the fact that he came out like a couple seconds after with his clothes clean. Like, here's the thing. Okay. Theoretically, if we were to go down the route of he didn't actually get gang raped, that's what he thought was going to happen. Because immediately after he says that, after he gives that quote-unquote declaration, people like cheer and they drag him into the sex room. And he's crying, he's screaming, he's trying to get away. And so it's obvious that he thinks, oh shit, I'm going to get raped. I need to get out. He's trying to get out. And yeah, no. Even if he, if you want to argue he didn't get raped, he thought he was going to get raped. And that's still the joke. Rape is still the joke, and Penchas is the butt of it. And that's still not okay. Like, it wasn't okay even if you want to argue Penchas and Moxie didn't get raped. The fact that they thought they were going to get raped, is supposed to be the joke, and we're supposed to find that funny when, I've mentioned this multiple times in my original video. I myself am not a victim of rape or sexual assault, and I'm not going to claim that. And so, but I feel pretty confident, and please correct me if I'm wrong. I've heard multiple victims say that rape is one of the most harrowing experiences you can go through. And so the fact that people are trying to justify this joke just feels very gross to me. It just, how can you have no empathy for that? And people have also tried saying, well, why is the rape joke not okay, but, like, the violence jokes, people hurting each other, that's okay and dandy. Here's the thing, though. Do I really need to explain that? Because apparently I do. So, the reason why, like, violence is seemingly okay, and why I've seen people say multiple times, you don't see people get mad at Tom and Jerry for, depicting violence. It's because oftentimes when violence is depicted, especially in like animation, it's over the top, it's unrealistic. You don't actually see, someone bring out this cartoonishly large hammer to whack it on top of someone. You don't, see people get shot multiple times and live through that. That's like, it's exaggerative, therefore it's unrealistic, therefore it separates everything. The reason why, like, we laugh, it's okay to laugh at, like, the imps killing people, it's just because that's unrealistic. It's unrealistic to actually get killed by imps from hell, just because that doesn't happen. And how they do it is over the top and cartoonish. Meanwhile, rape is a very real thing. And it's a very, very grounded thing. And it's hard to depict that over the top. And so it's just the fact that people try and say, like, if you laugh at the violence jokes, you should not have a problem with the rape jokes is so stupid to me. And, like, here's the thing. I hate doing this stupid argument of if the roles were reversed and it was a woman being raped as the joke, would you be okay with that? But that's a legit, like, argument for a reason, because people don't seem to understand that. And it does not, elude me that it's all men. Men are always the butt of these jokes. And, like, it's, like, genuinely, like, if it was a woman being raped as a joke, people would be rightfully outraged, and almost no one would be defending it, because it's gross. It's rightfully seen as disgusting and deplorable, and it should be the same way when it's men being depicted being raped. That should just be known. And I just, this is kind of an all over the place video, and I'm really sorry about that. I don't have a script for this, but, like, I saw this in, like, my comment section of my last video. I've seen this, like, rhetoric get thrown out by the Hasman Hotel, like, Reddit as a whole, and it's just not okay to me. And, like, I know a lot of you are probably saying, Chaos, why do you care so much if you yourself aren't a victim? Because I have empathy, and I try to understand why someone says that. And it's just like, I should not have to be a victim of sexual assault to know that joking about sexual assault and, like, saying, oh, a person getting raped is the joke is unokay. Like, that should just be known and accepted. And, like, there's also been this, like, this is a problem that both fandoms have had for a while, of people saying, like, anyone have, like, a opinion that deviates from the norm. Like, for example, for me, it's Stoller sucks as both a character and as a person, and the fact that nobody, like, accepts that is really annoying. Like, I've been run out of the Hellaverse fandom because of that. And it's like, I've also seen people, like, say Angel Dust is not a good representation of an SA victim, and that Husker Dust is gross to them because Angel Dust doesn't, get the hint about Husk. And it's like, people have gone after these people, sent them death threats. And it's like, people always say, like, oh, you're just a bad rage baiter, or you're a 13-year-old that shouldn't be seeing these shows. And it's just like, just because someone has criticism of the show doesn't mean that it's rage bait. It means they have legitimate criticism, and they deserve to be heard out. And if you're going to attack someone for that, then you yourself are not mature to be watching these shows. So yeah, that's kind of all I have for this video. I'm sorry, I didn't plan this out very well. I hope that enjoy is the wrong word. Enjoy is a gross word to use for this. But I hope that you found this informative, and I hope that wherever you land is a beautiful spectrum that we call life. I hope that you're happy and that you're healthy. And know that if you are a victim of this type of violence or any type of violence, you are not alone. You are not crazy. You are not stupid. You are valid, and you can survive this. I know you can. You survive 100% of your worst days. Please make it through this one. And that's all I have for you today. I love you. Bye.